4 questions. What did you think it meant? Hi everybody. I hope we're live. I don't really know. Somebody tell me in the chat if we're live. Are we live? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are we live? Are we live? Is this happening? Is it going? I don't know. Wow, there are so many people here in the chat. Kid Kane, first, live. Yes! Da da da! 4Q. This is 4Q. So, too many people to say hello to in the chat. There's just so many of you. What are you all doing here? This is amazing. Thank you all for coming. Bless you all. It's so good to be back in the hot seat again. It's been a long time off. It's been 5 months, and I've really missed this, if I'm honest with you. And I'm not really one for divulging information, as we all know. You know, the guy in the mask called Mr. Smith. But it's been an interesting ride for the last half a year or so. Well, quite a bit, actually. It's been an interesting ride, I'll say that. I've been out by a lot of people, and we're all good now. We're all good. There's a couple of people who know who they are, who've been really supportive of me throughout all this. And it's been kind of beautiful, if I'm honest. Bless you to those that know. And there's one guy in particular that I want to thank. So before we get into the stream, I'm just going to play a song. And the stream tonight is dedicated to this man. He's called Frank Terzo. Some of you will know him. Some of you won't. What a beautiful guy. And Frank, without you, this wouldn't be possible. Bless you. This is for you. All right, buddy. This is called Hum's Like the Mockingbird. Frank, love you, brother. Love you. What a star. So, into 4Q. Basic premise. 4 questions from the community, answered by your professional idiot here. And the first question actually comes from Frank Terzo. Nice. And Frank's question is this. It's a feel thing. So we might be playing in whatever tempo we're in. So we're at 120 beats a minute. But depending on where you put the kick drums and how you put the kick drums in, can make the song feel pushed or dragged or busy or subtle. And there's something else as well that people don't seem to maybe realise, is that, so we're playing the track and I'll play to a certain tempo, but you can play on the beat, you can play behind the beat, or you can play ahead of the beat, and that can also alter the entire feel of the track. So if I have the click track running and play slightly ahead of it, the track feels a bit rushed. And if I play slightly behind the track, it'll feel a bit dragged. And it's a common trick used in different types of music to give it either an intense feeling. So rock music is often bang on the money with the tempo, or just slightly pushed. It's just ahead. So it's permanently pushing it. It's permanently going. It wants to get ahead of itself. Whereas funk is behind the beat. Even though we're playing to the same tempo, it's slightly behind it, so it has a feeling of being dragged. So that's kind of where it's at with keeping the time. The difficult bit sometimes is getting the other musicians to understand that. Good musicians do understand how you can push and pull against the beat, you know. Others, it's something that they haven't quite got to grips with yet. Some of them, they've never even heard of it. They don't even know it exists, that process, and you've got to kind of show it to them, which can be an interesting process, especially with guitarists, because it seems to be that guitarists have a propensity to go ahead of the beat. And the one thing I would say to anybody when they're recording, because I know a lot of people in this community produce music, and when you're producing your music, this is key to how your song will feel. So as a guitarist, particularly, especially a rhythm guitarist, I would suggest that you're very conscious of the click track. And as a rhythm guitarist, 9 times out of 10, you're better being slightly behind the beat. You're better dragging against the click track. Don't push it forward. If you push forward against it, your track will start to sound raggedy and like it's not sitting together. And sometimes it can be hard to define that, but it really is what happens on it. And it can be the difference. So quite often I'll get a track and I'll go to mix it for somebody. And what I'll do is literally move the guitar tracks back against the click, so they are behind that click. And often that is all that it needs to sort of tidy it up. You know, people think you do some amazing magic trickery with, you know, whatever it is, fairy dust and magic powder. It's often not the case. It's just a case of moving the parts against the click or against the drum track. So I'd be aware of it. That'd be a tip to anybody to be aware of that. If you're a guitarist, particularly, stay behind the beat if you can. And then the second part of Frank's question, how do you prepare and what is your process? That's a bit of a long-winded answer, if I'm honest, Frank, because it depends on what the track is, but it always starts the same way. The first instance is just listening. So somebody will send me the track, I'll get it in, and what I'll ask for is the track with the drums that they had on it originally. So however they originally felt it, I want to know what their idea was on it. So I get a feel of what they were going for. Well, quite often they're not a drummer. Quite often they're working with drum loops. So they've just got something that will do, and you know, because they don't have access to a real drummer or a recording studio. They're just working at home, and they just pull a drum loop that kind of fits. But still, it gives me a really good idea of what they were aiming for with the feel of the track. So the first thing is to get the track and listen to it in its full context. So I want the full thing. And then what I'll do is get the track minus the drums, the same mix that they had. The drums come off it, so I'll ask them to send it minus the drums, and then I'll probably listen to it 30 times with no drums on it, more than likely. And so it becomes something that I kind of know intimately before I sit. This is before I've sat at a drum kit. I don't go anywhere near a drum kit. I don't even pick up a set of sticks. I'm just listening to the track, like I say, maybe 30 times, and getting to know it. So, like somebody would in a band. So if they've been rehearsing it for the last 12 weeks or whatever it is, 6 months, once a week, they've been listening to it 20 odd times themselves, and it kind of becomes second nature to play it. Well, that's where I'd like to be when I'm sitting at the drum kit for somebody. So to me, it just comes out as a second nature thing. I don't have to think about it. I can enjoy the feel of it then and play with it, you know. So more often than not, the process is based on listening for me. Listening. And then once I take that onto a kit, I have to play two parts. So I have to play a drummer, and then I have to play an objective listener as well, which is a bit of a strange place to be in, but I've got used to it over time. So for example, I'm asking myself, do I go to the ride cymbal for the chorus, or do I play 16ths for it, or do I just stay on the hi-hats and make them baggy and open, or is this a track for double kick drums, or what would the middle 8 section sound like if I just stopped and left it empty? And these are all the sort of questions that I'll ask myself as I sit at the kit. So at this point, I know the track and I'm just kicking it around at this point. And I'll ask myself, what do I think? What sounds best? What do you think? And it's usually dependent on a feeling. You get a feeling. You know what it's like with music. You get a feeling. And there's a moment when it clicks and you know what's right. But that's still sat at the drum kit. And then quite often, so I think, great, I've got the track and I've recorded it and I've nailed it. And I think, yes, that's it. Yes, it's in. And then what happens is I go over to my mixing desk over there and I start to listen to it. And usually the first thing I do is take out kick drums. So I think there's too many kick drums in it. Or that cymbal works too thrashy. So there's something like that usually stands out, because when you stand away from the drum kit, it feels completely different. But usually it's to do with the bottom end, it's to do with the kick drums. It's very easy to get over keen with your kick drums, especially when you've got double kicks, you know, because all the time you want to be doing this. And it can get annoying, basically. It's good fun as a drummer, but as a producer, it just gets annoying. So a lot of the times I just take kick drums out. Now, you'll notice as well, there's a very small kick drum under me. And that's because quite a while ago I stopped using a real kick drum. I've got plenty of real kick drums. But for what I do, it's more practical to use an electronic one. Because when it comes to that part of the process, if I don't like what I've done on the kick drums, so there's too many, I can just turn some off. And it doesn't interfere with the overheads and the rest of the drum track. So I can just blank them out and they're gone. And it's not much of an issue. So I've got some more drum streams coming as well. Be starting next week. They're called Only Flams. There'll be a trailer coming in the next couple of days for that. And in the Only Flam streams, it's going to be a bit more of an insight into how I take a track and then work it up and show you what the process is of doing this, albeit without listening to it 30 times. But I hope that goes some way towards answering your question about the process of it and how I work it out. Like I said, there'll be more of it on the OnlyFlams next week. Give you a bit more of an insight on how it goes. Going to do something different. So, a while back, a couple of weeks or something, I'm really bad at remembering how long things have been or what time actually is. I know I'm a drummer, but I'm useless with time like that. I don't know. It happened before now, basically. So it was back there somewhere. Yeah. I don't know. I've slept a couple of times since then, so who knows. It was on a conspiracy show. Hi, Conspiracy, as well. Good to see you, buddy. It was on a conspiracy show, and there were a few people on there, and I met this young guy called Curris. Never seen him before, and I'd never heard any of his music before. And he was on the stream, and I don't know how it happened, but we just got this idea for him to send me a track on the stream. This is a live stream, so he sent me the track on the live stream. I'd never heard it before, and I played drums on it. So I took that process that we're talking about, Frank, and I condensed it into about 30 minutes. So I took his track, I got it from email, and listened to it a few times, and then basically, like a lunatic, decided to play it live on Clay's stream. And it kind of worked, to be honest. I don't know whether it was luck or what. I don't know what it was, but it kind of worked. And it's a beautiful track. So if you... His name's Curris, and on YouTube, I think I've put the links in the description. His channel's called Forever Curris. He's got a beautiful voice, and he's a really nice guy. He was lovely to talk to, apart from trying to dox me at one point, but we won't go into that. Popper's Farm. I noticed you asked a question earlier. Have I got a contact email? So I know Conspiracy's in the chat. So if you contact Conspiracy, he'll hand you my email. But I don't give it out in public. Only lunatics and weirdos do that. So contact Clay, and he'll give it you. I hope Clay doesn't mind, and I will make it worth your while, Clay, in the future. You're on my Christmas card list anyway. So, without further ado, this is a track by Forever Curris, and it's called Good Morning, My Friend. I think. Don't really know. See what happens there.
But out of the watery aspic, laurelled by fins, the simulacrum leered, rudely beckoning, and her courage wavered, she blenched as one who drowns, and resolved more ceremoniously to lodge the mimic head in a crotched willow, green, vaulted by foliage.
Rays of sunlight break through the blinds. Another day begins, leaving the night behind. I open my eyes to the world outside, a brand new canvas where dreams collide. Breathe in the air for the hope arise. In this moment I realize so much discovered, so much to explore. In this journey called life, we can't ignore. Good morning, my friend. Life sees a day, embrace the possibilities that come with me. Together we rise like birds taking flight in the symphony of life. Why shine so bright? Good morning, my friend. Life sees a day, embrace the possibilities that come with me. Together we rise like birds taking flight in the symphony of life. Why shine so bright? Wish
her wrung hands, her tears, her praying vanish.
Doesn't he have a sweet voice? How cute is that? Oh, it's just nice. When I first heard him on Clay's stream, I couldn't get my head around it. It just, because sometimes you don't expect, when you see a person, you get a kind of idea of what the voice is going to be like, don't you? You just do. Well, when he sang, I couldn't believe it. It was the last thing I was expecting. How beautiful is that? And I've got to be honest. So, I've been in music since I was this big, basically, and I'm 91 now, or something. And I'm constantly on the search for new music. You know, people who tell me that music died in 1985 or whatever it is, shut up, get out. You know, I'm not interested in what you're saying. Get with the times. If music turned you on when you were younger, why is it not turning you on now? Go and find some new music. There's a world full of it. Yeah, just a world full of it. And people are doing beautiful stuff all the time. And quite often I think it's just about your attitude. So if you want to be moved, you can be moved. And it can come from absolutely anywhere, you know. No preconceptions. So don't give me this. I don't like metal. I don't like hip hop. I don't like this. I don't like that. Again, shut up. Get out. Not interested. Take it for what it is. And sometimes I think as well, with myself, the music that I don't like makes me think, well, why don't I like that? What is it that I don't like? Well, if I go through that process of finding out what it is I don't like, quite often I end up liking it anyway. You know, it's kind of, it brings me round somehow. So I can find something in it. And what I like to do is, I've got music that particularly turns me on. Of course I have. I've got things that I really like. I've got my Desert Island discs and I've got the songs that I go to and stuff. There's a question coming up about that in a second. But I don't like to have any preconceived notions about music. So I like to just be presented with anything. So go on, what's your track? Let's have a listen to your track. And I like to try and find out what they felt in it. And what turned them on, what flicked their switch with it, you know? And that's where the buzz is for me. So it never stops. There's no such thing as music dying and music getting old or music not being a buzz anymore. I'm permanently on the look for it. And this community, I tell you, this community has thrown up some of the most amazing music over time. It's difficult for me to get my head around sometimes, because it comes from all sorts of angles. And you've got... so, Jade Starr was doing a walk the other day. Let's see if I can remember this right, but I think it was walk number 13. And she was talking about Janaea Nedved. And Janaea's been through the mill, and she's going through the mill still. She's an awesome character. But she's herself. She's just absolutely herself. She does what she wants, and she does it her way. And if you want to come into that world, brilliant. And if you don't, you don't. Which I absolutely love. Because she does stuff that... Well, when I first heard her, I thought, what is this even about? I didn't understand it. I didn't know where she was coming from. I didn't know what was going on. But she slowly pulled me into this world of what she does. And what she does is her own stuff. And she does it in her own style. And it's beautiful, because it's not like anything else. She doesn't care what anybody else thinks, and she doesn't care what anybody else does, seemingly. And it's just fantastic. And she's a brilliant example of this community and how this community has so many individual voices in it. And when I say voices, I don't mean singers. I mean musical voices, because there's guitarists, there's drummers, there's bass players, there's singers. There's a lot of different kinds of... There's people who make electronic music. And that has a voice to it. So I'm permanently looking for something new. Now then. Pookie Ann. I've got to say it. Happy birthday. Is it today? It's today your birthday? I'm sure it's today. Well, Pookie sent me a question. And Pookie says, is there anything that you play just for yourself to put you in a happy frame of mind when you're having a bad day? Or is there anything that you play just because it makes you happy? Well, Pookie, I'm kind of lucky, really. No, lucky's not. I don't believe in luck. I believe that I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to play several instruments. And quite often, it's not just drums that I'll play to make me feel better, you know? I can play anything. I can sit down and play guitar, or I can mess with a keyboard, or I can just go on and mess with Fruity Loops, or whatever it is. Or sometimes I can just sit down and have a mess with a cymbal, see what sounds I can get out of a cymbal, see just anything, you know? But if there's really anything that turns me on when I'm playing drums, it's this kind of thing that I'm going to play next. Now, I have, as strange as it sounds, I have a real love of ambient music, so music that contains no drums at all. I really like music that doesn't have any drums in it. Maybe that's because I play a lot of drums and it's a nice break from it. I don't know. But I've always been a fan of ambient music. If I was to take a CD of ambient stuff to a desert island, if anybody knows of a desert island, please tell me where it is, and I'll be there in about 10 minutes. I'll take Jean-Michel Jarre's Waiting for Cousteau, track 4, beautiful thing. Just an ambient tune, no drums, not really much instrumentation on it. I have a particular love for the soundtrack from the George Clooney film Solaris, done by Cliff Martinez. Again, no drums, nothing on it, just ambient stuff. And quite often on YouTube, I'll go to some of the ambient music channels that are around and listen to just keyboardy stuff. There's a guy called Chris Zabriskie that, if you like your ambient stuff, you will know him already. If you don't, check him out. Chris Zabriskie does some beautiful things. He's a very prolific artist as well. He puts out tons of albums. I don't know how he manages it. And on one of these channels, I found this track by an outfit called Grandizer. And Grandizer do, again, they handle ambient synth stuff. And this is a track of theirs called Nocturne. Now, I intend to do a collaboration with this. I am writing lyrics for it, and I'm writing a melody for it. But at the moment, it's just the ambient track and my drums. So, Pookie, if there's anything I sit down to play to make me happy or put me in a better mood on the drums, it's this. And happy birthday. Yeah, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. I don't know why, but it just does. Oh, it has a feeling about it that makes me go, oh, while I'm playing it. Just, oh. The first time I heard it on this ambient stream, I just melted. I was in bits, and I literally went back, took the stream back to where it was, sat behind the kit, put the headphones on, and then just played it on a loop for, I don't know how long it was, but I was lost in that for a while. Beautiful. So Grandizer, and I've not been able to link up with that outfit yet. I wish I could, and at some point I will do somehow. But at the moment, I haven't been able to. Oh, wow, it's 39 minutes in. Right, shut up. Right, all right. Stop talking rubbish and answer some questions. Right, okay. So you'll have noticed that in that as well, there were some double kicks, kick cam for anybody who likes feet. Yeah, if you like your feet, there's a kick cam for you. You dirty perverts. But anyway, we all got off on something, don't we? So there's a question here about double kick drums. Staying away from feet for a minute. And this question has come from Sip. And I noticed Sip's in the chat tonight as well. Hi Sip, really good to see you. And the question says, do you use toe heel technique or do you just tap the heck out of your kick pedal? which made me laugh at the time. You just tap the heck out of it. Do you work with a click track as well, or does a song at one point just come naturally? So, Sip, I have never been able to do this toe heel technique thing. I don't know what they're doing. I've no bloody idea. And I use heel up technique. So some people, if you can see my kick cam as well. So hold on a minute. Let's see if I can. I think I can make this kick cam bigger for you. Right, there we go. Right, okay. So some people play with their heel down on the pedal and play like that. Some people play, like me, with their heel up. And I've always been a heel up player. It just suits what I do better. And I feel it's easier for me. There is no right and wrong when it comes to it. There's no... It's kind of up to you really what you do, but with me that's what I'll go with. So I'm a heel up player, and always have been and always will be. I know you can get a lot faster with toe heel, but I can't even show you how to do it here because I can't do it. I just can't do it. I've tried, I failed, and I'm not going back. I'm not doing it again. I'm just not going to do it. So if anybody's interested in the toe heel technique, check out a drummer that I watch on a regular basis. He's from a band called Stray from the Path. He's a drummer called Craig Reynolds, and he has put himself over the last 12 months through learning toe heel technique, and he's awesome. He's absolutely awesome. So if you want to know any more about that, go and watch Craig. You'll find out a lot. You'll learn a lot more than you'll learn from me about drums, put it that way. So we've not got long left. We've only got about 20 minutes left on the stream because an old Blue Unicorn's streaming at 5:15 Eastern, and I do not want to run over a Blue Unicorn stream. So you asked about, do I use a click track or do some things come naturally to you? Okay, well, this track, so the tracks I've run so far have all had click tracks to them. This one doesn't. This one, I basically took my CD of it, copied it, put it into Moises, stripped the drums off, and then I've just got the track with no drums. This is Seal. It's by Seal. Seal has been a massive influence on me musically over the years, and Seal 1 and 2 are just two beautiful albums. Well, this track is called Future Love Paradise.
But if only you could see them, you would know from their faces there were kings and queens followed by princes and princesses. There were future power people throwing love to the loveless, shining a light cause they wanted it seen. Well, there were cries of why, followed by cries of why not? Can I reach out for you if that feels good to me? And the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only love they'll find is paradise. No, the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only love they'll find is paradise. Paradise, yeah. Don't you know that race is a minimum future kids can only lead to no good? Sons and daughters all know how that feels. One day, all the queens will gather round, spreading love and unity so we can be found. And then the rest says all we're doing, drugs, women, gentlemen, but we don't love. And just feel with the love, alright. And the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only drug they'll find is paradise. No, the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only love they'll find is paradise. No, the riders will not stop us, the only love they'll find is Falling and all is gonna make you feel good. Coming at you like a hurricane would. Stick close to me, I'll always be by your side. Stay with me, you know that's alright. Love you, you're the girl I knew. You're so beautiful, what's inside? Makes me feel like I need your love, love, love. Well, the feeling with your love. Fix me with your love, alright. And the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only love they'll find is paradise. No, the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only love they'll find is paradise. Oh, riders will not stop us, 'cause the only love they'll find is paradise. Change your mind, I'll do anything to make the world beautiful, to make life wonderful. I will drown all your sorrow in a future love paradise. Future love paradise. Future love
There you go. Seal, produced by Trevor Horn. If you want to look for some good albums, look for Seal 1 and Seal 2. You will not regret it. Trevor Horn's production, out of this world. Last question is from Mr. Folk Punk. And he asks, do you change your stick grip as you play different songs or different parts of songs? Or do you have a go-to grip that you prefer to use? I use what we call match grip, which is just like that. Rather than traditional grip, which is you see marching drummers play. I can do traditional a little bit, but I'm not very well versed in it, and I don't do a lot of jazz work. If I was doing a lot of jazz work, I would use traditional grip. But because I mainly do pop, rock, sort of that kind of thing, I use match grip, basically. But I've never been taught. I've never had a drum lesson in my life, and I've never been shown how to hold a stick. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't really care. I've just got my own way of doing it now, and I'm probably too stubborn to learn anything new anyway. So I use match grip, but I do a lot of messing about when it comes to changing my grip on my sticks when I play. Because I'm not the most technically proficient drummer in the world by any means, because I'm making it up as I go along for the most part. So I changed the way I hold a stick to do particular things. So I'll show you with a roll. You can see how my hand's moving and changing and going that way and that way and that way to do different stuff. So whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether it's by the book or not, I don't know, officer. I don't know if it was by the book. Sorry if it wasn't, but it gets me through, and that's all I'm good with. You know, it's got me through this far. That'll do, you know. So I hope that answers your question, folk punk. I don't even know if folk punk's here. I saw folk and blues. Yeah, folk punk's here. Yay! And so, Frank Terzo, Sip, Pookie Annie, and folk punk, thank you very much for your questions as well. It's been really good to do them on this stream as well. So, if anybody has a question that they want me to answer on the stream in the future, all you've got to do is leave it in the comments under this video, and I will get to it. Yeah? Not saying when, but I'll let you know as well if I'm going to answer it. Because that way you can be in the chat to get the answer. So thank you to everybody who sent a question in. Now I'm going to play out the rest of the stream, because like I said, I don't want to overrun Blue's stream at all. And I'm just going to play a couple of tracks before we finish. And this is another track that's played. It's just a big part of my life, basically. For some reason, it's always just been there. It's always been around. It's in the ether, this track. You just know it. It's always been around. And this is the track that we get the phrase "more cowbell" from. This is the Blue Oyster Cult's "Don't Fear the Reaper." Fade outs make you sound dead professional, don't they? Whatever. Perfection's not what we're after here. It's not what we're after. Okay. Gonna play one last track. And before I do, I want to say thank you to everybody that was here tonight. Now, I know we've seen a lot of new faces in the chat tonight. People like Miss Luck and Dr. Rob, Health and Wellbeing, whatever his channel's called. Starfish Troopers as well. What a great bunch of people they are. Great little community over there that I met. Cookie, Pete, Rob, Spanish as well I saw in, Chris I saw in. Brilliant, really good to see you all in here. Thank you. Miss Luck as well. Kitty as well, just brilliant. Thank you all for being here. And then there's other people like Pookie and Snooks and Frank and Dev and Kurt and Justine and Jade and Feisty and Maria and just you've all been here. I can't believe it. I just thank you, Hetriani as well. I thank you for being here and making this just awesome. Kim's Creations, Valerie for moderating. Thank you. I love you. Folk Punk and Pookie and Sip and Frank, thanks for your questions. Lady Campion, Dennis, the Falcrow, just bless you all. Bless all of you. I love all of you. And it's so good to be back streaming again. And thank you all for being here. Lord Spike, good to see you as well. Didn't know you were here. TJ Zindel. Wow. TJ. What? Dude. Zach Thong as well. Pendar. This is fantastic. Oh, just Queen Survivors here as well. Cookie, really good to see you, mate. Thank you. And Michael and Maria, what a lovely couple. If you can get to see Michael's streams as well, you'll really love it. Acoustic player extraordinaire and the best dressed man on YouTube. CC Karaoke and Lady Smith. Wow. Indy as well. So thank you to Indy and Jade and Valerie for being my mods. Bless you. You're just awesome. A lot of you. You're just absolutely awesome. I'm going to play one last track before I end the stream, and this is by a guy who's very dear to my heart and is involved in a band with myself and Hetriani and Frank Terzo. And he's a guy like no other. It's Ed B Metal as well. Wow, brilliant. Al Folk and Blueser. Oh, there's too many names. I can't keep up. Paul Vault. Wow. This is awesome. Al Bundy's here. Chad. Incredible. So we're in a band called Ninth Gate. We do have a new single coming soon, as far as I'm aware. Not sure when that's out, but it will be soon. I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated on that one. But this is actually a song by Gary Hubbs. I know that Hetriani covered this recently. Millennial Animal. Wow. When do you get a wrench? Listen, when you get in the garage and start working on my car, man, you get a wrench, all right? Listen, start taking off some nuts and bolts. All right, mate. So this is a track by Gary Hubbs, and this is a track called Hardball. Hetriani did a really good cover of this recently. Check that out as well. And once again, thank you all for being here. I can't say it enough. It's just amazing. Thank you. So Gary Hubbs and Hardball, and I'll see you all soon.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. I love you all. Thank you all for being here. Couldn't have done it without you all. And this community permanently blows my mind. Thanks to everybody who's let me play their music. Thanks to the people who supplied the questions. I love you all. Deal with it. Fuck you. It's 4 questions. What did you think it meant?